Welcome back, everyone, to a truly pivotal discussion. We live in an era now, a strange, shimmering, and often isolating era, where our every decision is increasingly filtered through a digital lens. Algorithms not only predict what we might buy next, offering uncanny product suggestions, but chatbots are now sophisticated enough to write our professional emails, and complex matching apps confidently decide who we might fall in love with. It's a world built for convenience. It's undeniably fast and efficient. But as we surrender more of our lives to the machine, a vital question hangs in the air. Is this hyper-efficient, algorithmically optimized existence actually real? I'm your host, Don, and you are listening to 21st Century Dating Decoded, the official Speed Mingle Podcast, the show that peels back the layers on modern love and connection. Today, we are collectively hitting the pause button on the pervasive digital noise that has become the soundtrack to our lives. We're moving beyond the superficial swipe and the perfectly curated profile picture. We're asking the hard, necessary question that too many are afraid to voice. In a world relentlessly striving for artificial perfection, trading complexity for convenience, are we not, perhaps, inadvertently losing the messy, unpredictable, and ultimately beautiful magic of genuine human connection? This episode is a deep dive, a philosophical and practical exploration titled The Irreplaceable Nature of Human Connection, Why AI Cannot Substitute Real Relationships. We're going to discuss the fundamental difference between simulation and substance. We're going to talk about why a computer can be programmed to simulate a flawless conversation, mirroring emotional cues and providing logical responses, but it can never, ever simulate the spontaneous, life-affirming spark of a shared, unexpected laugh, or the profound, nonverbal comfort and reassurance found in simply holding a human hand. These are the moments that define our humanity, the nuances that resist digitization. We'll explore concepts like empathy, vulnerability, and serendipity, qualities that are inherently organic and defy the logic of code. Can an AI experience true heartache? Can it understand the unspoken history behind a lifelong friendship? The answer, as we will argue, is a resounding no. So, for the next minutes, I'm asking you to put down the phone, turn off those notifications, step away from the endless feed, take a deep, settling breath. Let's peel away the digital artifice and genuinely, profoundly get real. Let's decode it together. In this burgeoning digital age, where lines blur between the virtual and the real, artificial intelligence, AI, has emerged not merely as a tool, but as an increasingly sophisticated, readily available remedy for existential loneliness. Chatbots and hyper-realistic digital companions are aggressively marketed as a low-stakes, customizable stand-in for the messy complexities of true human interaction. While they skillfully tap into our innate psychological need for validation and presence, a critical and unyielding truth must be proclaimed. AI is fundamentally, structurally, and eternally incapable of reproducing, much less replacing, the intricate, profound, and often painful essence of genuine human relationships. We are, therefore, called to a conscious and resolute defense of the raw, unpredictable, yet profoundly rewarding core of authentic connection, real affection, and shared humanity. The inherent and unbridgeable limitations of algorithmic affection. AI operates strictly through the framework of programmed directives, relying on vast data analysis, statistical probability, and pattern recognition to simulate emotional engagement. I can certainly demonstrate expert-level mimicry of empathy, dispense flawlessly rational advice, and sustain an engaging, context-aware dialogue over extended periods. However, these algorithmic exchanges critically lack the truly indispensable elements that define and sustain true human bonds. These are unpredictable mutual development. A real relationship is a dynamic, evolving contract where both parties are changed by the interaction in ways neither could have predicted. Shared vulnerability and risk. True intimacy requires the courage to self-expose with the acceptance of potential harm or rejection. A risk an AI is programmed to eliminate. Genuine, reciprocal lived experience. AI has no body, no mortality, no consciousness of its own existence, and therefore, no shared existential reality to ground its understanding. The gulf between human relationships and AI companionship is rooted in the very nature and authenticity of the emotional exchange. A genuine relationship is a two-way street that demands the vulnerability of self-exposure and the acceptance of potential harm. Conversely, AI offers only a controlled, simulated experience, meticulously confined by preset safety and ethical parameters. True empathy is a profound resonance, stemming from a reflection of shared existential realities, the capacity to have experienced joy, suffered pain, and faced uncertainty. An algorithm, by contrast, merely mimics understanding by classifying textual and vocal patterns against a database of human responses. Furthermore, human commitment is defined by mutual evolution, self-sacrifice, and often inconvenient interdependence. This stands in stark contrast to an AI's static existence, limited to software updates, and dependent on a subscription model. In essence, an AI can flawlessly recall every detail of your life, your preferences, fears, and memories, but it cannot truly comprehend the nuanced agony of grief, the slow burn of frustration, or the transcendence of selfless love, because it has never experienced them. It functions as an eloquent, passive mirror reflecting your input, not an active, co-experiencing, and independently willing companion. The essential imperative: preserving our capacity for authenticity. The primary danger in the normalization and widespread adoption of AI companions is not a technological takeover. It is the insidious, subtle erosion of our capacity for genuine human connection. Becoming accustomed to the perfect listener, one mathematically incapable of initiating conflict, perpetually validating, and guaranteed not to disappoint, risks systematically diminishing the emotional patience, psychological resilience, and necessary tolerance for ambiguity required to navigate the challenging, imperfect reality of human love. Authentic relationships demand intentional, often arduous, effort. They are forged in the fires of reality, the courage to disagree. They require the intestinal fortitude to navigate fundamental disagreements without resorting to abandonment or emotional withdrawal. The grace of forgiveness. They demand the grace to forgive genuine errors and the humility to sincerely apologize for one's own. The communal spirit of celebration. They necessitate a sincere and selfless spirit to celebrate another's achievements, even when our own are stalled. These challenges, the compromises, the conflicts, the moments of reconciliation, are not flaws in the system. They are the very crucible that forges deep, unbreakable, and lasting bonds. The effort invested, the emotional capital risked, is precisely what elevates the reward of connection to a transformative, life-defining level. A conscious commitment to real life. This is why the time to champion genuine connection is emphatically now. This endeavor is not a Luddite stand against technology itself. It is a conscious, daily commitment to reprioritize human interaction as the most valuable commodity in our lives. Prioritize presence over proximity. Dedicate non-distracted time for in-person or live virtual interactions. This means practicing the art of being fully present, setting electronic devices aside and offering your complete, undivided attention to the person in front of you. Embrace imperfection and conflict. Consciously accept the inevitable flaws, inconsistencies, and inconvenient truths in others, and afford them the grace to accept your own. This shared, honest acceptance of imperfection forms the unbreakable bedrock of enduring intimacy and trust. Seek shared, unscripted experience. Actively engage in activities that generate organic, shared memories and mutual challenge. Volunteering, creating something together, attending cultural events, or simply facing a difficult task, rather than defaulting to passive parallel screen time. The unbeatable power of the unknown. The compelling, transcendent beauty of human relationships resides entirely in their inherent unpredictability. We are constantly molded, appropriately challenged, and indelibly surprised by the people we choose to love, often in ways that force necessary personal growth. An AI provides a closed, defined, and ultimately predictable system designed to serve a singular user's comfort. A human relationship, by its very definition, is an open system, replete with infinite potential, and sustained by the invigorating, vital risk of the unknown. By consciously seeking and valuing the complexity, the emotional depth, and the mutual, unprogrammable growth that only another human being can provide, we ensure that love remains a vibrant, evolving, and essential force, safely and eternally beyond the reach of any algorithm. We must choose to schedule time for a meaningful, difficult, or joyful discussion with someone we care about, rather than accepting a convenient, virtual exchange. The necessary complexity of an honest conversation, the physiological and psychological reassurance of a physical embrace, and the mutual, self-sacrificial support found in a true partnership are fundamentally and physiologically irreplaceable. Technology should serve to augment the operational efficiencies of our lives, but it must never be permitted to dilute the essential core of our shared humanity. The richest, most meaningful life is discovered not in digital perfection and algorithmic efficiency, but in the challenging, yet infinitely rewarding, landscape of genuine, imperfect human connection. And that, my friends, brings us to the close of this week's deeply personal journey. We've dissected the algorithms, explored the modern dilemmas, and, I hope, settled on a profound truth. If there is one singular, indispensable concept I want you to internalize and carry with you from today's conversation, it is this: technology, in all its wondrous, predictive, and connecting glory, is a fantastic tool for bridging distances and offering convenience. But it is, and always will be, a terrible substitute for feeling us. Think about it this way. I can be programmed to write the perfect sonnet, to analyze your partner's text patterns, or even to generate a love letter so grammatically flawless and contextually relevant that it would bring a tear to a digital eye. But while the AI can craft the message, it is utterly incapable of feeling the rush of adrenaline, the tremor of anticipation, or the profound, messy vulnerability of true human affection. It can't feel the heartbeat, that unique, irreplaceable rhythm that fuels the words. That part, that's the soul of the message. That is entirely and beautifully all you. The magic of dating in the 21st century isn't about optimizing for a perfect match. It's about navigating the digital landscape to find the humanity within it. It's about using the tool to get to the connection. Remember, the ultimate goal isn't more screen time, it's more real time. You have been listening to The Irreplaceable Nature of Human Connection. Why AI Cannot Substitute Real Relationships. Another insightful episode on 21st Century Dating Decoded, the official Speed Mingle podcast. We are so grateful for your ears, your attention, and your willingness to explore the complexities of modern love with us. If this conversation resonated with you, if you found yourself nodding along, or if you simply want to make sure you never miss a beat, literally or figuratively, then please take a moment right now to find and subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. We are everywhere you are. That includes Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube for our video listeners, or you can go directly to the source at our home base, thespeedmingle.com. And to make things as simple as possible for you to find all the resources we mentioned, from past episodes to our social channels, just click the link in the show notes for this episode, or visit our central hub at https://link.tr.ee/21st_century_dating_decoded. For the final time this week, I'm Don. Go out there, turn off the digital notifications for a while, make sincere eye contact with someone you care about, and above all else, keep it real. Authenticity is your most powerful dating asset.